My name's Jeb, and I'm live. I got another box to open. It's going to be exciting. First of all, I guess a somewhat famous YouTuber shouted out my channel recently. I'm going to have details for you right after I check out this new light. Check this out, guys. GamerBoy173. Oops. That's a solid start. That's excellent. Nailed it. It's great to see you all. Look at this thing. The glory. The wonder. It's a new light from Mars. Speaking of Mars, what did you guys think of the trash can video? How'd that go? Was that satisfactory? Fishing for compliments is not my thing. But this is their new full spectrum bar style light. It's a SP250. Look at this thing. And I'll have a link in the description. I'm going to try. I might have to give up for safety reasons because I don't have assistance. I'm going to try to replace this right now. So, you know, I could smash my stuff. It's very exciting. All right, let's get this thing up. I don't know. Before you get it up, should we look it over? Let's look at this thing. Do you guys like grow lights? I mean, I know it's a demo, right? It's a paid demo for a company, but grow lights are still cool. Look at this thing. These are all the diodes, right? And they're like integrated into this circuit. Hey, thanks, Frank Harden. I'm glad I could inspire you and your father. What kind of stuff are you guys growing? Hot peppers? So yeah, the chips are like integrated into this like panel. So if you're into that kind of, it's like a kind of solid state design thing. You can see the heat fins on the back of this. It has no fans, so no noise, no, you know, because in a grow room that you'd be using this on, I just got a notification that I'm live. That's preposterous. You know, in a grow room where this is likely to be used, there's going to be air circulating. So what do you want? Little fans and stuff that might break? Also, this is full spectrum. So it's going to look whitish, but you can see the diodes are different colors, right? So does that mean they're different spectra? I bet you they are. Let's get rid of my notifications. All right, I'm going to try to hang it up. Let's see what happens. So do we find out what Frank and his dad are growing? Something they can share with us? By the way, I got rid of the crates. I had like plastic crates holding these up. And I finally got some real hangers. I don't know if you can see. That goes off the ceiling. All right, let's see if I can hurt myself. Oh boy. Okay. Thank you, Bernardino. What are you growing in your garden? Okay. Oh boy. Anyone ever drop a grow light before? I assume that's ugly. Okay. This is the old fluorescent. It might be back. Oops. Have we broken it yet? These are the T5s. So maybe they'll be back. I don't know. Maybe this Mars will replace it. I have turned the light on. Yeah, I didn't have the heart to do it live like last time. Like, what if it didn't work? Like, that would be kind of embarrassing. Here we go, do the vote thing. What if it didn't work and I plugged it in? Like, would that mean something about the quality? I mean, that would just be bad luck for me and the vendor. So I turned it on, okay? But I haven't hung it yet. All right, I'll try to do this quick. Here's the fasteners. The best would be to do this with one hand using the iPhone. Okay. All right, there's one. All right, here's the other. What are the odds I injure myself or my plants? Which side looks better? So we've got a logo we're looking at. I go this way. Oh boy. Sweet potatoes are doing good. I'm supposed to plant them today, but I thought I wanted to turn this light on and just see what they look like with the scorching hot grow light on them. Okay. By the way, in case any of you missed it, got shouted out by a famous YouTuber. Not going to say who. I'll put a link in the video after the chat's over. Everyone would certainly leave. No, you guys wouldn't do that to me. Okay. This is the one-man light hanger assembly team. Got one. Who here's used ratcheting hangers before? These things are the coolest. Okay. I just realized I forgot my beer. I have a beer in every live chat. I think that should go through the hanger. What do you guys think? I don't know if you can see it. Okay, and I'm getting the sunglasses on because I did put this thing on. All right, it's the moment of truth. Okay, so this isn't theater. I turned this thing on, and it literally, my eyes started twitching immediately. It was pointing away. Definitely at some point I'm going to run and get the beer. You guys can handle it. All right, should we fire this bad boy up? Should I get the beer first? All right, I'm going to turn the light on and everyone can be scorched. Upton man, thank you for the super chat. How come you didn't go with Happy Leaf? It doesn't really work like that for the demos, you know? People contact me and we make a deal and I do a demo. So it's not like some other company is not as good or whatever, you know? It's like I try all the lights, you know? So far, they all work great. The Mars one is super cool. I mean, they're paying for this video. You gonna bring up Happy Leaf? It's rough. Okay, Happy Leaf next time. Let's see what happens. What if it doesn't work? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna turn the light on and run to get the beer. And if it starts a fire, you know, or something, that would just be exciting. And you guys have to make extra exciting comments to keep all the viewers on until I'm back with my beer. Because there's no way I'm doing a live chat with no beer. That would be terrible. Please drink responsibly, of course, as an adult. Here we go. Ready? Ah! Okay. Look at this thing. It's unbelievable. I'm going to have to get a blocker or whatever. I got this. There's no way that can be on with humans in here. That is not good for your eyes. Plants, on the other hand, love that stuff. Hey, thanks, Nicholas Jenkins. It's doing great here. We just got some rain. Okay, so don't forget. Link will be in the description. No fans, super bright, solid state. I'm sure I'm supposed to say a bunch of other stuff, but it seems like a fine light. I mean, it burned my eyeballs, so that's good. Okay, this is an unknown beer. I realized a while back it's actually against YouTube rules to promote alcohol, or at least to get paid to promote it. So this is Stella. I was not paid to tell you about that. How are you guys doing? Stella is awesome. Okay, so famous YouTuber. Who here? Did people say who it was in the chat? Who here knows who it was? I'm super excited. It's actually a minor thing. It didn't have a giant impact on the channel stats. Yep, Poppy Bolsonaro was PewDiePie. Yeah, in his live chat. I don't know what kind of stuff he does, but it was a live thing. He was doing some kind of campaign, and I don't know if they had like a contest on Reddit or something. I gotta calm down for a second. It's not from talking about PewDiePie. It's the grow light here. No, it's actually from running down the hallway. So I'll put a link. I'll put a link in after you can see the footage. He pulls up my Gardener Ignores the Law of Nature, the salad video. So he pulls it up and then he comments on it. It's fun. It's fun to watch someone famous watch your stuff. I mean, it is a video from like 2 years ago, but it's almost got 10 million views. Okay, everyone's telling me. So what's fire? What is that? Is that code for awesome, or is that like a PewDiePie word? I have no idea what kind of. I watched like 2 of his videos. I did subscribe though. I mean, he subscribed to me, so that's only fair. I don't know if he does that a lot, like if he subscribes to everyone, or if that's special. I want to be special. Oh, the light is on fire. Oh, did it actually catch fire? Or is that a joke? It sounds like trolling. All right, yeah. And by the way, any trolls in the live chat, just hit the button that ignores them. You know, I'm not gonna patrol this thing. So we'll have a link to the PewDiePie footage at the end. So is that amazing or is that no big deal? Because I was in my comments and I got like 5 comments says, "Hey, I just came from PewDiePie's live feed," and I thought, "Oh God, I'm getting trolled," you know. And then I went to his channel because I don't know anything. He's on his chats are on some other thing, D Live or something, and I didn't see it. Anyways, someone says, "No big deal. Let's talk about plants." Someone with a Russian name. Hey, I can appreciate that because it's exciting for me, but it's not that big a deal for you. The interesting thing, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but because I've had 2 successful videos in a row, the YouTube computer monster, the YouTube AI is rewarding my channel by giving it more impressions. This eye is actually twitching from my issue with the light. It's not from anything else. So it makes you wonder, did he shout me out and that made the channel go wild, or did the channel go wild and then he shouted me out to catch a little bit of the Jeb power? Okay, that's being self-important. Check out the sweet potatoes, guys. Oh, hey, thank you, David Horning. Says never doubt yourself. Okay. Actually, you probably need to doubt yourself now and then if you want to succeed in life. I know we looked at these last time, but look at this freakish growth. These are the slips from last time. What do you think? Are these going to work in hydro? But here's the other thing. What a friggin' disaster, the old method. Okay? And you can see my screen method back here. Now, of course, I know why this did poorly. And it smells bad too. Oh God, get it out of my face. Okay. Oh man, it smells. Okay. 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 It's got like it made some roots. It smells. God. Anyways, there's not enough air in the water. Okay. And the reason for that is that the surface area is restricted by the potato. I'm not going to tip it. This stuff is very vile. So what people do when they do it this way, I believe, I don't research much, okay, but I'm pretty sure they change this water every couple days, which keeps it from getting stagnant. Okay, but it's just adding oxygenated water. Okay, okay. This way's old. Okay, everyone's going to stop doing this. So forget this. This is the new way. Both those potatoes started at the same time. Okay, is this one better? What do you think? Now, I didn't change the water in this either. So how come this isn't? Let's smell it. Oh, just smells like fresh water and plant. Huh. What's the deal? How come this is so much better? Well, the surface area, there's a screen here, right? So the surface area is higher. And then you've got extra oxygen from all these leaves here. And as soon as decomposition starts taking hold, like this, the bad smells come, it's murky, it's rotting, and that consumes more oxygen. So, this is old. This is the old way. Okay, don't do that. Someone says, what? That is a PewDiePie screen tray? Did he say he cleans his garden out? Does he do plants? Soulkeeper says, Jeb, why not simply put a small air tube? Okay. Or a pump or whatever. Okay. Or you could just use this and do it the right way. So you guys have probably seen this, but this is the way I did my microgreens, the worm casting microgreens. So you got one of these Pyrexes. It doesn't have to be this, but this is glass, and everyone freaks out about plastic. This is one of those snap containers. I am going to blow my nose on the chat. I promise not to apologize for having a cold, because that drives me crazy. So I'm not going to apologize. I'm just going to fire snot rockets right in front of you people. How many? 200 people? Let's see how many disappear. All right. This is for my work, in case they think I wasn't sick last week. Here, live chat, proof. Okay, so this is a snap container. Now this is more costly than a jar. Okay, but do you see the difference? Okay, and so I've done is I've hollowed out. I just use a jigsaw, so these are jagged, but you could use skill if you like that. Okay, and then the screen goes under here. Okay, screen goes on there. It goes here. So any kind of cloning, I don't see why people were still doing. Okay, now this is sweet potato, but any kind of propagation will work in just a cup of water. But what if you propagate it on top of the screen? The screen is the future. I'm telling you. Okay, enough about the screen. Or anyone got any good comments about the screens? We need to chat, people. BT says the screen. Okay, well, I didn't invent. I'm sure I didn't invent. What happened was, I saw Dr. Cracky. He puts a screen under his totes to control mosquitoes. People using his method are likely to be worried about mosquitoes getting into the hydroponic totes. So he puts a screen under his plants as a second layer. Okay, so he did it first, and someone in I think Brazil or Peru or something. I don't know. I don't keep track of hydroponic history. Did that too, and it's supposed to stimulate growth. I don't know about that. Having it under the screen. But I've thought, why just grow it right on the screen? Everything. Potatoes. This is going to be sweet potatoes. Why couldn't you do grains on the screen? Regular person says, screw mosquitoes, aphids are the devil. Okay, well, I mean, you don't want to be breeding mosquitoes if you actually are having them, but I'm pretty sure you can see the larvae if you take a peek. Do people call it, what are they called? Swimmers or squirmers or something? The Mayans had some hydroponic methods by using bananas in their water as fertilizer. That's amazing. I was not aware of that. I mean, I know ancient cultures, you got the hanging gardens. I know people have done stuff on lakes. I don't know what the Mayans did with hydroponics. That's cool. I'm not saying I'm smarter than the Mayans. What's your point? Or tell me about the aphids, regular person. I don't find them a huge challenge. Is it root aphids or what's the deal? I know, but aren't they easy to kill? I mean, or I guess not, huh? You get the ladybugs. Is it because you don't want to spew? You're doing a crop you don't want to spray on? That's my guess. Joey says it's 4:20 right now. No, my clock says 4:21. Matt Pierce says, how do you treat for root aphids? That makes you say they're easy. No, I'm not saying root aphids are easy. I've never encountered root aphids. So I guess if you meant root aphids when you said aphids, I'm talking about garden aphids. And it seems like they go crazy on some weak plant, and then you throw that plant out and you don't have an aphid problem. But I mean, that's just my experience. I'm sure they could be trouble. It just doesn't seem like aphids are like, I'm more worried about mites, white flies. Those seem to be tougher than aphids. That's all I'm saying. My clock says 7:21, says Drew Tracy. That's right. I mean, wouldn't that be the idea? It's 4:20 somewhere, right? Prakasha Kula, thank you. So I appreciate that. I was going to read his comment, but everyone sees the big blue comment, right? I'm so dumb, I don't even still know how super chats really work. Red Anthem says spider mites are the worst. Yeah, that might frighten me the most, because I don't see what predator I have. Like, do lacewings go after them? So I've had them on the outdoors, and it's like, I thought nature's just supposed to take care of this. It only happens indoors. So for the mites, I'm pretty sure you have to spray once it becomes an issue. You got to figure out a spray that's going to get them, and then you have to spray. You have to figure out their life cycle. Okay, so there's two ways to deal with bugs. Let's talk about bugs. The two ways I see are, typically what I use now is no intervention outdoors. Because I haven't been spraying just because I'm lazy, and I've noticed you see a few aphids, you see a few white flies, but they don't get out of control unless you have some kind of weak plant that becomes troubled. Is one of these buttons the mute button? I'm just sorry. Okay, so one way is don't spray, let nature take its course. And it's not about being a hippie, it's about, if it works and it's sufficient and it costs nothing, do that way, right? I mean, isn't that obvious? And then the other way is to spray. You could scorched earth spray and just spray every single week. I mean, how expensive is that? That's terrible. And you're killing all the lacewings and stuff too. So indoors, you can cross your fingers. You just hope. Put some yellow cards out. That's if you want to have the satisfaction of saying, here's my indoor product, it hasn't been sprayed ever. And also, I like to take risks. That seems like a terrible risk. I'm not saying I haven't done it. And if it works out, then you get to brag to everyone, I never sprayed anything. But you just got lucky. The real strategy indoors is once a week, get a spray that's good against mildew, good against mites. Spray every week. If your crop can't be sprayed, then spray while it can be sprayed, and then just be super strict on your access. Okay, that's my spray thing. I got my notes here so I don't get bored. And Jennifer McCrae says, I think neem oil helps. I guess, but neem oil has two effects. So one is it's an oil, and the oil can coat bugs and smother them. Oil can coat leaves and give you some protection from mildew. So that's the oil part. Then neem oil also has azadirachtin. It has if a bug consumes the neem oil, so it won't hurt the beneficial insects because they don't typically consume the plant. And if you don't coat them because you spray in the evening or whatever, you'll be fine. But the azadirachtin, it's like it's just like an anti-feedant, it slows them down, makes their lives miserable. It's kind of unfriendly. But for the smother effect, couldn't you just use canola oil? Or, I mean, you could use something cheaper. Vegetable oil. Get some Wesson. And the azadirachtin, like if you're just constantly spraying, I guess you would get in a situation where the bugs just don't do well. But I haven't seen it just straight up annihilate the bugs. I've been disappointed with neem oil, and it smells bad. Like, couldn't you use coriander oil or something nice? Frank's Fly Traps, thank you. How to prevent edema in indoor peppers. Fans not help. What is edema in a plant? Like, I don't know what that is. Is it okay? And the fans don't help. Is it poor airflow or is it leaf loss? Tell me more, Frank. Who knows what edema is? That a made up thing? Am I getting trolled here? What do you mean by edema? What do you guys think he means? So bruising of the fruit. Okay, so is it reduced transpiration? All right, we're gonna have to come back to that. Okay, like bumps on peppers leaves. Well, usually when I've seen bumps on the leaves of a healthy plant, healthy-ish plant, it seems to be some kind of heat stress. And that's, I think, where you say fans don't help. So it would be like increase your humidity, raise your lights, get better cooling. You could use shade cloth on it. Is that crazy indoors? Okay. Bruce City Gardener says sounds like pH or newt deficiency. The bumps, it's like a ripple effect, right? And it's always closer to the lights. Is that it, Frank? Like, is it just happen in the leaves in the canopy? All right, who's got something good? Okay, what do we got here? I didn't write anything that interesting. You guys give me something interesting. Yeah, so the rippling on the leaves, the other thing you could do is you could mess with your light cycle. I know people worry about that on their indoor plants. I think plants will be fine as long as you don't interrupt the night cycle. Jennifer McCrae says, I just planted white strawberries. I did not know those exist. Are those the pineapple strawberries? Pineberries or whatever? I haven't heard of white strawberries, unless that's code for something. You guys got to help me from the white strawberries. Okay, the pineapple ones. Okay. Did you get some, Jennifer? I should try those. I'm strawberries. Here's my problem. I'm lazy and I like to experiment. So Some plants can really take a beating, like tomatoes, sweet potatoes. They're vigorous, mint, herbs. They're tough. The roots go fast. You screw them up, they recover. Strawberries seem like tender, like the roots grow really slow, and you gotta dial in your pH, and it seems like they're real fussy. So I want to be good at strawberries because they're so delicious and good, but also, why wouldn't I just grow more of this kind of thing? Like, this is just in water, What is it going to do when it goes in the hydronutrients? It's going to go insane. Joseph Martinez, it's like the mother-in-law. You mean they're tough and won't go away? Or what are you trying to say there? Or do you mean just wise and powerful? I just realized I'd forgotten where the chat counter is. Regular person, do you mess with bees? I'm frightened by bees. I realize their benefit to the earth and the garden, and they're amazing creatures. So I don't mess with them. I have my Costco bee house, and every time I walk by, I see all those tubes. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's like you come by and there's all these bamboos, little holes, and you could just imagine all the spiders and horrible things in there. I will probably throw that away soon, because every time I walk by, I'm like, oh man, I hope there's no bee that's moved in. That's how I feel about bees. Also, I murder wasps. I'm sorry, but you just need one wasp in the garden, that's all. Prakash Akula, are UV resistant mason jars better for roots? And thank you for the super chat. I didn't know such a thing exists. What is a UV resistant mason jar? Is that like it has a color on it to protect your green beans you're canned in it? What is that? And I don't think the roots care that much about UV unless they're getting hit by, I guess sunlight might really hurt them, maybe. But like in the indoor lights, like were these roots harmed? Fluorescent puts out a little UV, doesn't it? Like, were these harmed? I mean, I think they'll be fine. It does seem like the jars need some kind of cover, or the algae. I want to work out a scheme where you can grow in jars for like decorative stuff, and you don't have them covered, because it'd just be so cool to see all the roots and maybe just a little algae. There's nothing wrong with that. Gurfan says, Jeb, wasps got me started growing and into your channel. I grow tons of basil to keep them away. Okay. I mean, the herb flowers seem to really attract bees, including wasps. So I suspect you're making a play on words on wasp. I don't know. Okay, Clorox bleach is here. Everyone's favorite cleaner and troll name. Well, I watch your channel a lot, and I finally made a stream question. What's the easiest plant to grow with hydroponics? That's not a bad question. What do you guys think? Who's got the easiest plant with hydroponics? I was going to say don't say a certain plant, but whatever. Onions, lettuce. I'm reluctant to say cannabis just because if you say the word cannabis, your live feed gets flagged as possibly inappropriate for advertisers. I've just been flagged because I said it. That seems kind of silly, just saying a word and you get flagged. Like, I don't know. It seems like they got to work on their little computer doodad. I said a swear word in one, and they said it might be inappropriate for advertisers too. One swear word in an hour, and the whole thing got flagged. No, I just petitioned it, and it got cleared in like, I don't know, half an hour. Hot peppers. Okay, so the answer for what is easiest to grow in hydroponics is whatever you will pay attention to because you love it. Also, anything that's vigorous and doesn't mind moisture. So tomatoes, the mint-ish herbs, this kind of thing. I mean, I guess it'd probably be something like watercress. Doesn't that grow in water? I haven't grown it, so I can't say. The tomatoes seem pretty tough. Yeah, I think it might be tomatoes so far. I mean, they don't mind moisture, and they'll just eat up the nutrients if you have too much. They're like, okay, well I'll just grow more. Maxim Charlebois, broccoli sprouts. Yeah, I mean, any kind of brassica sprout, microgreen-ish thing. I mean, it could just grow in plain water. So sure, I mean, like radishes, some kind of radish, anything with a radish would probably be good. Someone says, say seaweed. Is it just for the thrill of getting me to say what you wanted me to say, or because you think seaweed would be the one? I don't know. I don't know if it would be seaweed. Sven says, I found lettuce was insanely easy with Kratky. Yeah, lettuce is easy, but the thing is, not all lettuce is easy. Like, the romaine lettuce is easy, but like black-seeded Simpson, that stuff seems real fussy. Jojo says, OMG, live Jebaba. Is the two B's because of Jeff? My name's Jeff. My name's Jeb. You know what's cool with the PewDiePie thing is he did his my name is Jeb, or whatever thing. I asked for permission to repost that portion of his chat. I don't know if he gives people permission. If he doesn't answer, I might just put it up and ask for forgiveness. But it's his face, and I can't make money off his likeness without his permission. But yeah, it is. What is it? My name is Jeb, or whatever, however it goes. Afro, what about cucumbers? They're practically more than 90% water. Well, the cucumbers grew aggressively when I did them, but the way the plant grows, I think that gives it a penalty for hydro, because if you're assuming you're indoor, it's real sends lots of side shoots, and then the lower leaves get nasty. I mean, tomatoes do the same thing, but the cucumbers seem a little fussier. So no, cucumber's not the easiest. PRN download. We need a list that tells you what the name/product of a big brand name alternative for Master Blend is in every country. Yeah, because everyone says, what nutrients do you use? I think that's just it's either the Master Blend people trolling me or the GH people trying to get their name in for free. Because that's what I tell people. They say, I can't find Master Blend. What should I use? And I'm like, well, there's general hydroponics you can get everywhere, right? Can you not get it everywhere? How is that? It's just chemicals. Like, why would that be hard to get in different countries? Is it? Matt Pierce says use House and Garden, way better than GH. I mean, it could be, but so far my experience with the nutrients has been run the EC low, get whatever's cheap and available. Like, who makes a nutrient and it isn't good enough to grow a plant? That's a company that'll be out of business in 5 minutes, because it's not hard to. I mean, just get the chemicals right. Get a mixer or whatever. Joseph Martinez, Amazon ships stuff everywhere. Well, you can't get Master Blend on Amazon unless it's like someone who repackaged it and is charging triple. So that is legitimate, and they don't ship everywhere, every item. There's like custom. You got to get through customs and stuff. Joseph Martinez, I don't know. Okay, they ship to many places. Stephen Boyle, I finally caught a live stream. Oh, thank you for coming. It's very, it's very nice to do a live stream with you folks. Thank you for joining me. Because the people counter doesn't ever drop off horribly. Like, it'd be embarrassing if it got boring and everyone left. John Jones says, never buy from Hong Kong. What does that even mean? Is that just because I put a Mars light back here? I don't know. Why would you say that? I don't understand. Okay, I'm reading the chat directly. Who's got something interesting for me? Gurfan says, Master Blend not in Germany. I use GH, but I find it too expensive. Will you folks think I'm a weirdo if I put sunglasses on? My eyes, the sunlight coming in here is enough to affect my eye. I'll put the sunglasses on. I'm still here for you. Don't worry. Paying attention. Trojan Virus says, where do you live at? It's not a secret. It's Southern California. Yeah. So is that like supposed to frighten me? What? I don't get it. Okay, Jebabub from Norton Snail. What is your guess on the composition of the black soil that is found in the Amazon? I listened to that Joe Rogan podcast too. I forget the guy's name. Some professor-ish type dude that writes books about ancient cultures. So here's my understanding. I did not research it at all. I just listened to the podcast. I feel really self-conscious with these sunglasses on. I must tell you that. Nothing better than talking about yourself when you have something more interesting to talk about, like the magical black soil of the Amazon tribes. So someone says, now you look like a hotrod. What does that even mean? What's the troll ratio in here, people? Give me a percentage. What's your guess? Anyways, people wondered, how did they cultivate to feed large populations in the Amazon? Because I'm merely repeating what I heard in the podcast. When European explorers came to the Amazon early, they reported finding large cities in the Amazon with large populations. Andrew Conover says 9% troll. Yeah, that's a good amount. Someone's named Clorox bleach and had a good question. So maybe as long as you're friendly to trolls, maybe they're just fine people. And then the explorers that came 200 years later they just found jungle, and they said, oh, it's all made up stuff. Just, duh. Cities of gold and all that kind of thing. And I guess they've been exploring further in the Amazon using LiDAR and other techniques. And they found the signature of large populations. I don't know the details, roads or bricks or whatever. And so people wondered, well, how did they feed these large populations without, because the soil is not good in the rainforest. I mean, it's good for growing jungle trees, but it's not good for making crops. I don't know what crops you typically would have in South America. It'd be like cassava or something, or is that a recent import? But I guess they found this dark soil. I forget. Should I try to remember what they called it? Yeah, I don't remember. Who knows the name of the dark soil? So they found this dark soil, and it's supposed to be this amazing stuff, and that's how they grew crops. They made this partially biochar. Okay, some people got details, but someone's wondering, well, what do you think is the deal with the dark soil? Okay, here's what I heard about it that I understood. It's made from biochar and composted something, and has a unique biological content of microbes. And people are mystified by the microbes or something. To me, that didn't sound like a mystery to me. Like, I don't think it's you get the microbes and then you get the soil. I think it's if you have an environment that is good for certain microbes, then they will grow there. So the soil is good for microbes because it has biochar and surface area and whatever. And I don't know, what is jungle soil like? Is it like a clay type thing? And so that's too dense. I mean, it didn't sound like a mystery. I mean, it sounded interesting. Blake Ketchum says Amazon soil is too weathered to be effectively fertile. The microbes help cycle nutrients, especially nitrogen. Yeah, I mean, probably, but okay, look, here's the thing, guys. I'm a total hobby guy and I don't study. So I just say stuff and a lot of times it works out and sometimes it's wrong. But I don't get the microbe thing. Like, I know the microbes break stuff down and then the plants can eat it. And so people will add microbes to their soil. And it's like, dude, if you have the proper environment for microbes, I put a jar of water and just put it out on a brick. And it'll be full of algae soon enough. The dust blows in and that has a little nutrients and then the algae grows. I didn't have to introduce it. So I don't know about, that smells bad. Forgot about it. So I don't know about the microbe freaking out stuff. I think it's just like, make the good environment, the microbes will come. Okay. Grundelizer. I've studied soil microbes for 10 years. They produce 70% of our antibiotics and other medicines. Yeah, I'm not against microbes. I'm just saying I don't think you have you don't have to introduce them. They're there. The wind will blow them in. Like, I don't understand. Like, we got to get to certain microbes, otherwise it's not going to work right. I don't know. Microbes are everywhere. Is that controversial? Beau LaForge. Jeb, what are your thoughts on citrus fruit indoors? It reminds me of the fact that in 1990, oh boy, someone's producing something in a fact. I'm not going to read your whole thing. Okay, citrus fruit indoors. Well, I think it's great. I mean, it'd be like for a decorative thing. Is that what you mean? Here we get frosts. So if you had a sensitive citrus fruit, then you could just, if you had it in a big container, you could truck it indoors. It's probably easier just to cover it with something to protect it. I don't know if that's what you mean. Marius Anderson, do you think mycorrhizae will just appear in store-bought soil in my indoor garden? Okay, I guess indoors you could introduce it once, but you don't need to dump it on once a week or something. Like, once it's there, it'll be there. What if I know this is sacrilege, but what if for your indoor garden you just sat your soil outside for a couple weeks? I know some bugs might move in, but microbes will move in too. Like, is that as effective? Maybe that sounds really stupid. Nathan Cameron says chicken poop has 12 times nitrogen of worm castings, though, and worms' main benefit is the nitrogen. Chicken poop has 12 times the nitrogen? Is that by mass? What on earth how could it be that much? Did you make that up? I mean, I like chicken poop. Okay, GoHabs9. You want to create a diverse community of many microbes, and you can introduce them by composting various diverse materials and amend soil. Like, I know you want a bunch of microbes. I'm just saying, like, okay, has anyone tried it indoors? Because if you don't have a clean room, algae comes indoors without you introducing it. It blows in through the vents. Like, I don't think you can keep microbes out. So if there's some microbe that you need and it's like a little bits of it in the air, it seems like you could wait a week and your soil would be packed full of microbes. Is that crazy talk? Like, it's kind of fun just saying things that might not be true. How does the algae get in? You know, we're talking about bacteria. Go in your grow room and fart. It'll be full of pleasant microbes. Also just reflagged myself, said fart. Extinctionist Forever says you speak the truth. By the way, we need to get this. I'm going to work on a more attractive shirt. I apologize to my fans. You know, this was my idea, but you can go here and get a t-shirt if you want. Morbid God says, yes, you can filter microbes. Okay, yeah, like, so if you have like a sealed room and you zip up in a suit, like you go in like ET, like you can't keep them out. I guess in theory you could get a microbe that is not as good, and then you want more of the good one. Like I could see inoculating it. I'm not saying you're dumb, but some people get crazy about the microbes and they got to pour a bought product on every week, get more microbes. And I haven't tried it, so it could totally work. It sounds like total BS to me. But, you know, if someone's got a product from one of these microbe companies, I'd be happy to set up a test. Oh, I'm sorry, Morbid God. Says I was responding to a question in chat. Okay. Not challenging your microbe knowledge. N Tesla 66 says inoculate once and forget it. Like, I don't think re-adding it would hurt, but I don't think it would affect it much. Canada says the microbes are real, Jab. Yeah, I think microbes are real. I can't. Is that interesting? Oh, I see the numbers dropping. They're always talking about microbes. Yeah, okay. It's like the pH pen. When I put the pH pen in my first lettuce video, and I watched the chart, as soon as I brought out the pH pen, this is one of the reasons I don't do the pH. The viewership was like, oh God, pH, get me out of here. Drew Hurst says, can't believe fart is considered a swear word. Well, it's like, it might be offensive to the advertisers. Is that the theory? If someone says fart too much? Like, they have to make a list of words to feed the computer. Tom Collier says CO2 does not cause global warming. Agreed, Jeb? No, it's not agreed. I'm just saying you don't have to put microbes in once a week. Hi, Jeb. Have you tried growing hempy style? I think I've heard of that. That's a big bucket of perlite, like, kind of like a wicking bed. Is that what you're referring to? Emma Rose? Who has heard of hempy style? Or is that a made-up thing? I think I've heard of that, of a hempy bucket, and I think it's a big bucket of perlite and then a bucket of water under it. I haven't tried it. I bet you it sounds like it would work great. Porn Download says hempy is going to be better than crack key. Yeah, I could see that, except it uses media. See, that's the issue with a lot of the concept of the indoor growers is that you're not measuring costs. Like, oh, I that's okay. I just had to use a bucket of perlite. I can reuse it. Well, handling and purchasing and shipping a bucket of perlite has a cost. So you have to decide if the cost was worth it. And I don't think Kratky style is ideal indoors, because indoor the floor space and the canopy space is expensive. So it's easy just to put an airstone in. You think hempy is better than airstone? Is it because it's not susceptible to failure? All right, Extinctionist Forever says raw uncooked perlite is dollars per ton. Yeah, but the cost of using perlite is much less than the cost of a truckload of it. You have to store it, you have to use it, you have to sweep it up. It gets dirty, and then you're going to reuse it, or you're going to throw it out, and I mean, there is a cost. And I'm not saying perlite is bad, but you just need to count all your costs. Anthony Espinoza, I can only dream to be half of the gardener Jeb is. I'm a total novice, guys. Trust me. I do some fun experiments, but I'm not an expert gardener. Dominic Gammon, can you put an air stone into soil? There's a watering system I've heard of where it injects water and air under the soil, like it has pipes under the soil and blasts it. I have no knowledge with it. Seems like it'd be more important to have your soil set up properly to have good some air getting into it somehow. You know, that seems more important. If it was for indoors, you go hydro if you're indoors. Sorry, I'm not. Just go hydro for indoors. Trust me. Mary Sanderson, what do you think is the most common beginner gardening mistake? Okay, so the first one is not starting to garden, because all you have to do is get a plant and start taking care of it. Now you're a gardener. And the first step, people are like, I have a green thumb, I can't do it. Okay, so that's the most common failure, is not just starting. Just keep a plant alive and check it every day and get smart. And then the second one is overwatering in soil. It's my opinion. Ooh, Man Mountain did all caps. Should I read it? Can you use a styrofoam fishing keeper for hydroponics, or will it attract algae? You mean a styrofoam, the cooler? I don't think light would penetrate that. I think it would work, but I don't know why you'd use styrofoam when you could just use plastic. Like, what is the advantage of styrofoam? Is it the insulation, or just because it's a super cheap container? Seems like it would wear out a lot quicker. Drew Hurst says, fact, a company here makes a carry-on-your-person toilet freshener for self-conscious princesses called VI Poo. That sounds like a troll comment. I regret reading that. Amelia Snelling, how do you come up with your video style of dramatic gardening? It's genius. That's a great question, because people are dropping off like flies with this conversations about microbes and stuff. And I get to talk about myself, which I'm very excited about. By the way, we're almost to the end, and I'm going to have that PewDiePie link. If you're not able to find it, it's at the 55-minute mark. If you're already on there. Well, thanks so much, Masho Joe. I'm going to answer the question about the style first. Is I review the footage, and then I consider what I have, story-wise and footage-wise, and then I try to get. The trick is to make the music match the footage. And then once you've picked the footage, then you make the editing match the music. That's the trick. The music will guide the style. So when the music is very exciting and fast-paced and loud, you'll do quick cuts and lots of action, and you're kind of almost to where you distress the viewer. And then you give them a break on the slow part, and then you talk more, because people will click off when it gets slow. Like, oh, classical music, it's boring. Now you just talk more and you keep them watching. That's the style. Okay, let's go find my super chats disappearing. Masho Joe. Jeb, thanks for your videos. Love them so much. Can you make a video for Kratky with 5-gallon buckets and get them free at work? Yes. I mean, I probably won't. Just $5. It's not worth doing a video. But I thank you so much for the super chat. The issue with 5-gallon buckets is they're tall. And I'm starting to really get this feeling that to do things Kratky style, which is basically where there's no power and the water descends and you're kind of just letting the plant fight its way through the universe, you want more surface area. See, 5-gallon bucket, the ratio of the height to the surface area is challenging unless you make a smaller plant in it, like 3 lettuces. You know what I mean? Like that would be like, well, you got 5 gallons. Why don't I do 5 lettuces? It's because of the surface area. So I think 5-gallon buckets are actually, they're not bad, but it's a challenge. Like if you try to do 5-gallon buckets and then you're going to do peppers or tomatoes. No way. with no aeration in heat. It's not gonna, I mean, they'll live. That's the cool thing. They won't die completely. Good question, though. Travis O'Hara says, Jeb, you started an office plant growing trend. Oh, I hope so. I'm in a cubicle now. Don't know if it's related to the plants. Thank you all for joining me. I try to keep it at an hour because if you don't, you know, it's rough for me too. Right after this, I'm going to post the PewDiePie footage. I know you guys are dying to see that. And don't forget, check the description too for the Mars SP250. I haven't grown with it, you know, I have no experience. It's blinded me so far, and it looks, I mean, it looks cool. Look at the fins on that thing. Should I turn it on and scorch the eyeballs to end it off? Let's do this. Yeah. That is a fireball of a light. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate everything. All right, have a good one.